Welcome to High Infidelity, the best cheating videos on YouTube. If you enjoy this content, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications. Now let's get into the video.
My wife's insane behavior and how it changed us. Hello all, never once did I think I would get to this point, to the point of reaching out to strangers on the internet for guidance, but here we are. My wife and I have been together for 10 years, but married for 8. We met in college and were each other's first and only. I honestly thought we had a unique and beautiful relationship because of that, but it appears that was just me. Some time ago, my wife began working at a new company. At first, she found it difficult to fit in because she's always been reserved, but after encouragement from me, she made friends with a group of girls, some of whom were single, divorced, or dating but non-married. At first, I was happy she made friends, but then she started going out for drinks, partying, or something other thing her friends had planned. I became concerned by her change in behavior and tried to talk to her about it, but at the same time didn't want to restrict her in any way. It started to affect our relationship in the bedroom. My wife wasn't one to initiate intimacy, but with her continued going out, she was either too tired or wasn't in the mood. At some point, her company got a new manager whom my wife and her friends had taken a shining to. She began mentioning him in passing, but it got a point where, pointing how he handled certain problems that didn't seem to be work-related, I questioned her on her fascination with this man, and she brushed off my concerns. She even started asking if I regretted not having more experience with women, to which I said no because she is all I ever needed. I swore I thought for a moment I saw a flash of sadness in her eyes, but she quickly changed the subject. She started mentioning open marriages as a way to spice up our marriage. I was taken back because my wife was never this kind of person and not that liberal, to be honest. I at first refused and questioned if this had anything to do with the new manager, to which she denied, but said she felt like missed out, but at the same time didn't want to lose me, so this was a safer option. I warned her that she was playing with fire, then reluctantly and naively agreed. So we set some rules, mainly not to sleep with another person in our home, so for a year and my wife goes on dates, as one night stands, then, as if I didn't see it coming, somehow is in some kind of relationship with that manager. I, on the other hand, had a few dates, but no one-night stands because freaky it felt wrong to me. My wife would ask if I was fine, but really wouldn't change her behavior. At some point, I felt the love I had for her, that pure special innocence of marriage, was gone, and it was killing me inside. I ended going on a date with an amazing woman who migrated over from South Korea. Conversation was effortless. She had wit of a lightning fast white crack and a smile that had one forget himself. This, of course, led to more dates until we were intimate. I honestly never had like I had with this woman. I never knew a woman could be so giving and make one feel so desirable. At first, my wife thought it was cute, but as the months went by, she began questioning my relationship with my lover. I promptly pointed out that this was her idea, and even she was in a relationship with the manager I was concerned about. She was silent, looked she wanted to say something, but held her tongue. She began coming home early to surprise me with dinner and get the house extra clean. She so started coming to my workplace to drop off lunch and began to initiate intimacy in the bedroom. Honestly, if it wasn't for her opening up our marriage, which I'm also to blame for agreeing, all this would have had me jumping for joy. I barely gave in to her attempts at intimacy, and when I did, it was simply to get it over with. Something in me towards my wife died, and I could see she felt it too. I asked what brought on this change in her, what was different. The response I got was that she wants to show me that she loves me and is happy with me. I never intended to, but I burst out laughing. I asked about her little group of friends, her manager, lover, or her one-night stands. She didn't respond that day and simply went to bed in tears. The next day, I get home to find her waiting for me. She told me she wants to close the marriage, that this whole experience was a horrible mistake, that regrets everything and wants us to be the focus of our relationship again. I told her to be honest with me and tell me what inspired all this in the first place, and wouldn't you know it, it was her group of friends that planted the idea because of their numerous exploits, and when her manager came around, he surprisingly supported that lifestyle and encouraged my wife to live free. Apparently, it developed into an emotional affair, but only got physical once the marriage opened. Wow, like that makes it better, she described it as being drunk behind the wheel of a speeding car. It was thrilling and intoxicating, but the price of this decision has become too much for her to bear. She sees now that she never needed a comparison, that what we had was truly unique and special, but now she feels like she murdered our marriage and any chance of a life together. I told her I might not to ever be able to see her as my wife again, and this made her break down in front of me. I simply held her in silence as she cried until she fell asleep in my arms on the couch. She has since left her job and cut off contact with all of her friends and her manager, and even told me she's willing to spend the rest of her life making it up to me and work her fingers to the bone to be seen as a wife by me. But I haven't cut contact with my lover. My lover, quite frankly, makes me feel like a man, like I can challenge the world, and my wife hasn't in a while. Truth is, I don't know what to do in this situation. I would love to get the special feeling back if possible, but my lover basically saved me when I was at my lowest. Please help me. There are always a group of friends who have destroyed people's life. My cousin started stealing from his parents after meeting some people, and to bring him in right track, they have to send him into a jungle where road survey work was being done so he cannot contact anyone. Be careful who you call friends. Honestly, people have great lives and somehow they feel like they don't, and in the process of trying to fix what's not broken, eventually break it. This is probably the greatest thing I have read on the internet in the last few days. So true, my man, so freaking true. I have seen them in front of my own naked eyes, them being dissolved into oblivion either because of outside manipulation, self-created inner trauma of loneliness, or last but not the least, kinks. Not saying all kinks are bad, but they are only good as long as they remain between spouses. Some kinks go beyond a territory. Be with the person who makes you feel complete, not with the person who broke you just to make themselves happy. She chose to do these things and did them without caring what it would do to you or the relationship. She was happy that you went on dates but didn't fully take advantage like she did. But when she saw that you succeeded and hers were more faulty, I would say you should reconcile, but since your love for her is completely dead and you already checked out, then you should just cut her off and don't give her any false hope. But when you do it, make sure you list out everything that got you here. Make sure that in her next relationship, she doesn't make the same mistake, and anything you have on your chest, you get it off. Like, I'm all for healing and bonding after affairs, but this wasn't a standard affair. This was purposefully planned and orchestrated by her with the hope that you would crash and burn and wouldn't do much because you're a doormat in her eyes. You can check my comment history, and I love to give out steps on what to expect and what to do to fix situations. But this one seems way beyond fixing. Like a normal affair would be. Lying, no respect for relationship and partner, gaslighting, no complete answers. In this case it was. Not respecting relationship, emotional affair, planning and scheming, running with technicalities, no remorse or regret or respect. As long as she was winning, she didn't care to stop. When she saw something go wrong in her plan, then that's when she fell back and tried to fix. It wasn't when she got everything and got bored. It was when you started to win and came out better than her. Let me ask you something, my guy, and to the others reading this. Do any of you think she would have closed any of this if he hadn't found the better person? To cheat usually comes with multiple causes, from bad influence to selfish dreams and curiosity to boot. To change for the better and show regret like she didn't happen because she snapped out of it by herself, but because she felt defeated compared to him. Like, this relationship is too much to fix and will most likely achieve nothing substantial. I could be wrong because anything can happen. You might have already went past the stages that most people go through when it comes to affairs and already found someone else. To reverse this whole progress is like looking at a fully developed town that was made on top of nature. You would have to bulldoze all your progress and put time and money to removing the new town and force nature to come back into the town. Not a lot of good relationships happen when you have to force back feelings.